Hello and welcome to the KTRX Online RX mini-series. My name is Tom and as always I'll be your commentator. You join us here for round 2 of the first ever season at Hell in Norway. The track is based in Lankbanen and is a tight and twisty circuit with a small jump at the end. It's a 5-car entry list then, with 1 car from each of the 3 teams, Tom Foster, Darren Parker and Callum Baker, each in their respective teams. Rob Pellet, unfortunately a last minute technical error meant that he was unable to join. Mike Kuipers was unable to make this round and Harry Cook has still yet to make an appearance. In the independents we have 2 cars with Stephen Heath, and of course it's the first time entry for Joe Burrows in a brand new VW Polo. Okay then, it's the first heat, 5 cars on the grid, Stephen Heath, Joe Burrows on the front row, and it's a good start from Joe, and Darren and Tom are at the back together. Oh, the 2 come together and they've both gone into the barriers. Tom and Darren into the Joker Lap together, but of course they've made contact, so that's going to be an absolute nightmare for the 2 of them. Into the lead then is Joe Burrows in the VW Polo, and look at the lead he's already got. Stephen Heath is up to 2nd, Callum is into 3rd. Well, Stephen Heath runs a little bit wide there, and so he's got to try and get that car to get back round and over through the... Oh, that's Callum. He is unable to control the car as he gets a tank slapper. Let's go on board with Darren with the start then and find out what happened. Oh, to be honest, it looked like he was avoiding Heathy, who was kind of coming towards him. So Stephen and Callum both on their Joker lap, and Tom, obviously, who's done a Joker lap, will now catch up with Heathy, and he actually gets the overtake done. That's Darren and Callum, it look like they're coming together in that corner as they are slow on the exit. So Darren again involved in more contact, but Tom and Heathy here having a good scrap. Oh, but Heathy gets it too wild and loses control. Tom going over the jump onto lap 3, and look at this. Joe Burrows is having the day of his life with the first heat, looking great here upon a brand new entry, and he is just a little bit wrong there. Let's catch up with Darren then and find out where he is. He's actually in 4th position, and a little bit of work still to do. So they decided to extend the laps because of the smaller grid numbers. Oh, that's Heathy coming back onto the track, so Darren just about avoids making contact there. And that promotes Darren up to 3rd then. The sun has come out a bit more after a cloudy start. And onto lap 4. Let's see where Tom is. Is he anywhere near Joe Burrows? He's fairly close. And there's Joe Burrows in the background, so Tom could catch up here. Joe runs slightly wide. And again, so it looks like after a fantastic start, Joe is struggling to get the Polo to turn quickly, whilst Tom has had some experience in the first round and seems to be able to get the back end of that Mercedes around quite quickly. And look how much is caught up here. So the 2 could be on for a good fight. I think we're on to the last lap here. We are, and Tom has had to go for another Joker lap, and it's actually, we find out that Darren is also having to go for another Joker lap as well, as the 2 of them considered missing the Joker lap on the first lap because of their incident. So Tom has had to go for another one, so that's ruined his chances of catching up with Joe. So Joe in the VW Polo here on his debut event has taken the first heat. So a great start for Joe. There he comes crossing the line. Joe gets the win. Tom is going to come across his second after the contact with Darren very early on in the race. Darren salvages the damage here and gets the third. Heathy has struggled to get round. It's a much more twisty circuit with the hairpins, and Heathy comes away with the fourth, and here's Callum just about getting that McGann round. McGann struggling here so far, and Callum gets fifth. Joe Burrows gets the win then on his debut event, with Tom in second, Darren in third, Stephen Heath gets fourth with Callum in fifth. Looking at the points then after the first heat, Tom is in the lead by 2 points with 50, Darren is second with 48, Mike Kuiper's still in third even though he doesn't score any points, and then we've got Rob Pellett in fourth with 28, just 1 point ahead of Heathy with 27, and then Callum is further down with 17, and Joe Burrows gets off the mark with his 10 points. In the teams then, TR Racing are leading with 78, MC Racing on 56, and Team Redeem still with just one car at the moment on 48. Heat 2 then, with Tom and Darren on the front row of the grid, and it's pouring down with rain. I think that's Tom getting a false start there. He gets ahead into the lead, but no doubt he will get a penalty. It's a poor start for Darren, and Heathy takes the lead but goes into a joker lap, and it looks like Tom has as well. So Joe Burrows takes the lead in the polo, and there's three of them together into the barriers, and Callum gets punted into Tom on the track. So it's chaos here on the second heat of hell, and Heathy has taken the lead, and that's Callum and Darren getting together again. So Joe Burrows is in second and is chasing after Heathy, who's struggling to keep the car in a straight line. And can Joe get back into the lead again for the second heat running? And the two of them come over the jump together, and I think Joe Burrows has taken the lead. It goes into his joker lap. Let's go on board with Joe Burrows then with this incident. There's the two cars that come together, and the three of them cause a major incident. Let's go on board with Darren then, who was on the inside of this incident. Oh, a huge crash. Now we're on board with Heathy, and you'll see in a second how perfect he slid in between the three of them, going to the barrier, then goes into Tom. Look at that. That's perfect for Heathy. Nice and tight round there. And so Tom has already taken a joker lap, so he is ahead of Joe Burrows, but he goes really wide into the gravel, so does Joe. So Heathy was leading, but he's gone into the tyre wall again, so that's pretty much the second time that Heathy has lost a lead by going into a tyre barrier in two different events. So Tom now leads this event. Oh, and that's Joe Burrows and Heathy coming together as well. So the two of them here have gone into each other. Darren takes over into third position, and Heathy now trying to recover by getting past Darren, and so wow, it's lots and lots of chaos action here in the second heat of hell. So Tom now just nursing the car round in the where, and he's lost control, so that's going to slow him down dramatically. So Tom doesn't get away with the contact either, and he's going to throw it away if he continues to drive like that, with Joe Burrows very close in second. Darren's not too far away in third as well, and the rain continues to pour down, and the guys are struggling to deal with the different grip levels. So Joe Burrows still doing well in second. Heathy just about losing control here, and he is also just can't seem to get that grip on the exit as he follows Darren round the ordinary lap in fourth. You can see how much slower he is. So Tom still leads then, and we're on lap 4 of 6. So see how much slower Tom is, trying to maintain that lead and not throw it away by doing anything stupid over the jump. And you can see that he does not want to make any more mistakes. and that is, I think that's Callum, who is now a lap behind after, unfortunately, must have gone off a few times. Let's go on board with Joe Burrows. There's Tom ahead, Callum being left behind. So Callum's not really a part of this, although he's now going to be some traffic for Joe Burrows to get past. Oh, there's Callum. Unfortunately, he does cause some problems for Joe Burrows. Back in the lead then, and the last lap of this heat. Tom doesn't have to do much more just to keep the car in a straight line. Oh, he's looking on edge. And coming around the last few corners, but it looks like it's been confirmed that Tom is going to get a 20-second penalty for the false start, which means he's going to lose the win to Joe Burrows. He's kind of come round and he is going to go through to take the win on the track, but unfortunately it's not going to be his for the taking with a 20-second penalty. Joe Burrows is close enough to take the win. Darren will come away and take second, and Tom will go down to third, maybe fourth, whereas Heathy and Callum come away to finish up the back. Joe Burrows inherits the win then as Tom gets his penalty, is pushed down to third. Darren gets second, and Heathy was too far away from Tom to get that podium position, so sits in fourth. Callum finishes at the back in fifth. Tom Foster is still leading the championship by just 1 point, then 58 points to 57, with Darren in second. Third is still Mike Kuipers, but of course he's not racing, so he isn't gaining any points. Fourth is Stephen Heath with 34, and then Callum is 3 points ahead of Joe Burrows, now 20, and very quickly climbing with his 2 wins in the heats. In the teams then, TR Racing on 86 still in the lead, with MC Racing and Team Redeem very close together by just 5 points, 62 to MC Racing and 57 to Team Redeem. Heat 3 is about to get underway then. It's still raining here at Hell, and away they go, and it's a much more even start. But Callum gets into the lead, but Joe Burrows, a fantastic move into the first corner then, and they'll just about get together in the first corner, and no one takes the Joker lap on the first lap, which is unusual. Tom here is in the gravel, and two of them, the two Ford Focuses, are really slow around the corner. So Callum up to second then, and Joe is into the lead, and Callum is in the way of Heathy and Tom. Down goes up to second. So it's all settled a little bit more now. On board with Tom, and that's Darren ahead. Joe Burrows is way off in the distance. A bit of contact there between Tom and Heathy as they go into the Joker lap here on the... 3 of them actually have gone into the Joker lap. That's Darren as well as Heathy. So Tom is now down to third, with Joe still in first, Darren in second, and more contact between Heathy and Tom. But leading this race is Joe Burrows for the third time, and there might be some questions whether that Polo is too fast, or whether it's a case of just Joe Burrows is out of the trouble and into the lead for each of the races, and just staying nice and safe and out of the contact is helping him massively. So back on board with Tom then, and still behind Darren, who runs a bit wide. The guys are still trying to find that dry line with the grip. The rain has stopped, but it's still wet on the track. Of course, the dirt is also very interesting to see how much grip they have, whether they can get the cars to drift nicely, or whether it's difficult to keep it in a straight line. So further down, Heathy is in fourth. Callum is not too far behind Heathy, so could try to get that fourth. On board here with Darren, and as you can see, that is Joe Burrows in first, and so he's slightly catching, but is it going to be enough, or is Joe going to take the win here with 2 more laps to go? Very very possible for Darren to potentially catch him, and see if Tom's catching Darren as well. It could be a three-way fight in the last few laps. So there is Darren. So Tom and Darren are very close together still. Tom is unable to catch Darren enough to put the pressure on him. And that's how close they are all together. So over the jump for the last lap to be started. And at the moment it's still looking like Darren and Tom unable to catch Joe to snatch that third heat win in a row as well. Joe Burrows is really impressing here. Round the last few corners, he goes slightly wide. Is he under pressure here? He's not going to throw it all the way. Oh, he makes a slight mistake again. He's slow on the exit, but it's not going to be enough. Joe Burrows takes the win. Darren is a very close second in the end. Tom isn't too far behind in third. So it wasn't quite enough for the two of them to try and catch him. But a great race after the initial contact, and a well-deserved win for Joe. Heathy is going to come away with fourth, as Callum here is all in the gravel, but he's going to come away to take fifth in the Renault Megane. Joe Burrows gets his third win in the heats then, with Darren in second, Thomas third, Heathy fourth, and Callum fifth. Tom and Darren join in the lead then with 66 points, with Stephen Heath jumping up to third now with 41, just 2 points ahead of Mike Kuipers on 39. Joe Burrows goes up to fifth with 30 points after getting their third win, with Rob Pellett on 28 and Callum Baker on 29. In the teams then, TR Racing are racing ahead with 94 points, MC Racing just 2 points ahead of Team Redeem now, so they could be overtaken. It's the last heat then, and things have dried up with the sun coming out, and away they go, and it's a great start for Joe Burrows again, who takes the lead. Heathy is second as Callum goes into the Joker lap. There's a bit of a push there from Heathy. Tom and Darren nearly coming together with a bit of contact there as well, and there's more contact. So three of them again. It's slightly less dramatic this time, but Joe Burrows is the person who unfortunately gets the bad end of it in the end. Darren is in the lead, Heathy is in second. Let's go on board with Joe then. And Heathy looking quicker and quicker each time, but unfortunately he's gone off. So Joe is up to second. That's a mistake from Darren. So Joe is in the lead again. So for the fourth time running, Joe Burrows is in the lead. Darren and Heathy is second and third together. They could be coming together here. Joe Burrows takes his Joker lap. Darren goes into the lead then. Let's go on board with Darren then around this first corner, and it just bunches up here a little bit. Yeah, that's just the contact that spins Joe Burrows around. On board with Joe Burrows then. He's really slow on the exit. Oh, that's where the contact is. Oh, a few hits there he took. And Tom is nowhere to be seen in this one, so he's struggling. Heathy, look at that sideways for him. So Heathy and Joe Burrows get together, and Heathy, oh, he overdoes it again. Oh, contact with a barrier. Struggling to get away from it, so that's going to slow Heathy right down. So can Darren continue in the lead, as Heathy still can't get the car to face the right way, and that is Callum Baker who is catching up with Heathy. Then Darren still leading this race with Joe in second, and that's Joe just in the background there, so he could catch up. Darren made a mistake earlier on, but this time are hoping not to make any mistakes and to get at least a win in the heats. Otherwise Joe Burrows is going to dominate and take the fourth and get the full quad set of heat wins. So over the jump. We're on lap 4 of 6. And Darren running a little bit wide there, but still maintaining that lead. And Tom is up to 3rd now, so he must have made a mistake earlier on, but way too far away from Joe and Darren to even consider trying to take the win. There's Heathy just behind, and then Callum is further down, really struggling here in Norway. So that is Darren who's taken his Joker lap, so the two of them are going to come together. Oh, there's a bit of contact and Darren's gone off. Darren ever so slightly just made a mistake, and the contact there with Joe Burrows was just enough to push him off, and he's in the barriers. He can't face the right way, so Darren has ruined it all, and he is not going to be taking a win. He's actually now under threat from Tom for 2nd. We can have another look at the replay to find out just how that happened. It was unfortunate really, because it was looking like it was going to be a good race right to the end with Darren and Joe, but it's not to be, as there was enough contact there just to push Darren out. So can Darren hold on to 2nd here, because he's now under threat from Tom. He's not too far behind as well. Oh no, Tom's made a mistake, he spun round. So Tom is now under threat from Heafy. On board with Joe Burrows. There's Darren going into the Joker lap, and as he's exiting here, Joe Burrows and Darren get together. Darren gets just ahead, and there's the tap. That's just all it took. So Darren slow on the exit of the Joker lap. Yeah, that's it. There's the contact. But so we are on the final lap here. Vamps gets the win. That's Joe Burrows. Darren is going to come away with 2nd. He's going to be really disappointed with that. And then Tom, it looks like he's managed to stay ahead of Stephen Heath, who will take 4th again, and Callum will finish at the back. Oh no, Callum maybe not finishing at all, as he is stationary. It looks like he's gone into the barriers, so Callum gets a DNF. Joe Burrows finishes the full set of wins in Heat 4, then with Darren in 2nd, Tom in 3rd, Heathy was 4th, and Callum gets a DNF. Darren takes the lead of the series then, 1 point ahead of Tom on 74. Heathy is still in 3rd with 48, but Joe Burrows is only 8 points behind after getting another win in the heats. Mike Kuipers drops down with 39 points, and then Callum is on 29 with Rob Pellet on 28 at the bottom. TR Racing still in the lead with 102 points, but Team Redeem jump ahead into 2nd with 75, and MC Racing on 68. Okay then, this is the final for round 2 at Hell. Heathy and Darren on the front row of the grid, and it's a good start for Heathy, and they're all pretty even as Heathy goes into the first quarter in the lead. And it looks like maybe that's Tom who's gone into the Joker lap then. So all 4 of them have managed to get around the first corner with no contact, and it's actually looking fairly clean then. So Heathy continues on in the lead, and Darren looked really racy as he tried to catch up. Heathy's made a mistake, so Darren's taken the lead. Darren goes into the lead as Heathy goes into the barrier. Joe Burrows is now in 3rd with Callum Baker in 2nd. Oh, but Callum's gone off. So Tom is very, very close behind here with Joe, and that's Callum unfortunately being slightly pushed off by Joe Burrows, so they all go over the jump. Tom has already taken his Joker lap, so will quite easily overtake Joe Burrows when he has to take his, but Joe decides not to take it on this lap and stays ahead of Tom. This is going to slow Tom down as Darren continues to lead then. Through the right hand dirt section, up the hill onto another dirt area, and this is an awful left hander here, really difficult to judge it correctly, and then a really nice sweeping right hander uphill. It's difficult to get the speed up over the jump, and onto lap 3 of 8. So Darren has taken a joke lap, so Darren's still leading then. And this is really good for Darren. He's in the optimum position. Joe Burrows is still going to take his joker lap, so he's under threat from losing that second place to Tom. And Joe Burrows, who's got the 4 heat wins at the moment, isn't in the position to take the final, as Darren is quite comfortably controlling this race in the Ford Focus and doing well. And Joe Burrows is still slightly under threat from Tom, even before the joker lap. Oh, but Tom is in the barrier, so Tom unfortunately loses control, pushes too hard, and so he's facing the wrong way. That's going to allow Heathy into the lead. Here's Heathy. Not into the lead, sorry, he's into that position where Tom was, but Tom already took his joker lap, so Tom just about holds on to that third position. So much style with Heathy. Really on edge, getting that focus facing the opposite way. It's fantastic to watch. Maybe not necessarily the quickest way around this circuit, so Darren still leads then, and the laps are counting down very quickly on lap 5 of 8. So Tom is pretty much out of the question for the win here, and Joe Burrows is still within view of Darren to see if Darren might make a mistakes, because he has unfortunately made a few whilst we've been here, so it's not uncommon. But so far so good for Darren. He doesn't need to do anything drastic. Over onto lap 6 of 8. I think this might be a good time for Joe to go onto his joker lap. No, he still continues to go around. There is Tom in third, and he's slightly caught up as Heathy continues in 5th, and Callum struggling at the back still. Oh, he's in the barrier, but still managing to get round. There's Heathy still in 4th, Tom here in 3rd, with Joe Burrows, who's made a mistake. So we didn't quite catch it, but Joe has made a mistake just like Tom just after the jump. Tom's was just before it. So Joe Burrows is now in 3rd position, and it's all falling apart for him right at the point where it needs to be not falling apart in the final. And Joe Burrows isn't quite going to get the full house with the final win as well. But you never say never, as Darren goes on to the final lap here, and it's been a masterclass for Darren in this Ford Focus in the final. Let's watch Joe Burrows then, as we missed the point in which he lost control. Did he make any contact with the wall? Oh, there was little contact, and he just spun out, and there, as you can see, Tom overtakes him. He's not had the best of luck so far in the rallycross, and the champion of season 4 of the touring cars wanted to try something different with this rallycross series. It's a mini series as a trial for the first season, off season between the new season of the touring cars, as Darren takes round 2's final at Hell. Tom is up here in 2nd, and Joe Burrows is going to take 3rd. Heathy comes around. There it is. Heathy 4th and Callum 5th. Darren gets the win then for the final here at Hell, with Tom in 2nd, Joe Burrows in 3rd, Heathy was 4th, and Callum was 5th. The points then going into round 3 at Hockenheim. Darren leads with 83, just 4 points ahead of Tom, with Stephen Heath in 3rd with 51. Joe Burrows isn't too far behind with 44, and then we've got Mike Kuipers on 39, Callum Baker on 31, and Rob Pellet on 28. In the teams then, TR Racing still leading with 107, Team Redeem on 83, pulling away from MC Racing on 70.